Hi everyone, Gunchimp here, and welcome to a video that, to be honest, I thought I'd never be making. We're going to be talking about Battlefield 4 of all things. Now, anyone who's followed me on Twitter knows kind of how I feel about Battlefield 4. After the beta, I basically thought it was going to be a complete disaster, and sadly I was proven right. The launch wasn't the best, and to be fair, a lot of the fans were just treated a bit like dirt, to be honest, in the first couple of months, until DICE and EA finally decided that they do have a problem, and they really should get their act together and fix the game. So I kind of avoided it like the plague, although a couple of my friends did actually pick it up and did suffer with it, going through the same kind of story with all of them really. Every time a patch came out, they'd log in, they'd try it out, and within about a week they'd be turning it off and deleting it and never going back to it. But a couple of weeks ago, a friend of mine, Phil, he posted a couple of videos actually on Battlefield 4. One of them was a really good one called Our House, where literally him and a couple of buddies that I've also played online with before came up with the idea of literally they'd pick a flag and defend it like hell. And the video just brought back a lot of really good memories that I had of playing Battlefield with Phil and the rest of the guys. We used to play Bad Company 2, we used to play Battlefield 3 together, and to be honest, I really have missed Battlefield as a franchise. I've been going through quite a lot of games, to be fair, trying to, I guess, fill the gap. I've been trying PlanetSide 2, which was okay, but still there's a lot of work that needs to be done there, on console that is. I've also tried Killzone Shadowfall, which I thought was actually really good. It's just a bit difficult to try and get into matches, unless you speak Spanish like I do, and then there's no problem because you can always find a squad of Spaniards battling out on the game, so that's kind of cool. But nothing really filled that gap as a really good PvP experience. I mean, I tried Destiny. Destiny's fine because it's very much like COD in that it's an individual FPS, but it just didn't have that squad aspect to it. So I looked online, and the Battlefield 4 together with the premium was about 45 notes on the PlayStation Store. So I thought, I've not got a digital download yet, so I might as well try that as well. So I put down my money. I waited about 47 hours to download all the various updates, filled half my hard disk with it, and dived into a couple of games with the guys. And I've got to be honest, it's not too late for Battlefield. It really isn't. Battlefield 4 is right now the game it should have been at launch. It felt great. The gun mechanics are there. There's a couple of weird glitches with the sound. Sometimes you'll be in like a boat example and you won't hear the engines, you'll just kind of hear the waves at first, and it'll suddenly all deafen you as it all kind of comes into the game. There's also a couple of graphical glitches like textures not popping in, or there's been the odd game where I've kind of spawned in without a weapon, which is kind of a bit difficult when you're in a game where you're supposed to run around shooting people. But the main thing is the gameplay, and the gameplay is just everything I remember from Battlefield. It's just all there. The squad mechanics, it can be quite frustrating if you're playing on your own, don't get me wrong. If you're not in a squad with mates, it can be quite painful. You just don't feel like you're actually getting anything achieved. But overall it's been really good, and I used to play a lot of Rush and Conquest, but since I picked up Battlefield 4, I'll be honest, those are the two modes I haven't played at all, unless I'm with Phil and the gang. I've mainly been sticking to Domination, which I remember from Battlefield 3, and I really, really like that. It's basically like Conquest, but it's a lot more fast-paced, and there's a lot less vehicles involved, so you can just work on your 500 kills for dog tags and that kind of thing quite easily. It's a lot more fun than Team Deathmatch, in my opinion, as well. But the one that I've really amazed me, well, there's two actually. There's Obliteration, where you basically have to carry a bomb. Again, that can be quite frustrating if you're in a team of idiots who don't realise that blue means your base and red means where you're supposed to take the bomb to. I've seen so many teams, running the opposite direction back to our base and giving the enemy team an easy plant. But the one that really, really grabbed me and that I really, really enjoy is Carrier Assault. Now, Carrier Assault, as the name suggests, you've got two basically carriers, one on each end of the map. And the first part of the game is to basically bring down the defences of the carrier. So how you do that is, just like Conquest, there's I think 5 or 6 flags, I can't remember off the top of my head. You basically have to take as many as you can, because they all have missile launchers, and the missile launchers basically fire a missile at you, at your carrier. The carrier gets to about halfway health, and then basically the ramps drop and you can get on board. And that's where the real fun begins. It then basically turns into a really closed, combat-orientated team deathmatch kind of thing, where there's two MCOMs you've got to attack. The first one's A, and then once you blow that up, that opens up the doors to the engine room. But the thing that makes this game mode really, really good is the fact that normally both teams open up the carriers at roughly the same time. So not only have you got to kind of battle through the defenders to get to the MCOMs, get it armed, and then get on to the final objective, which is the engine room, you've also got to be really conscious of the guys on the other carrier. So it's kind of like a really fast-paced race against time, really, to try and get your MCOMs armed before they do. So I guess my point is, I've been having way more fun with this game than I ever thought I would. I must admit, I think I did the right decision by holding off on buying Battlefield 4 till now, because this Battlefield 4 patch 1.5 million or whatever it is now, it's just the game it should always have been. Everything's there. I haven't personally seen that many glitches, and if you're still on the fence about Battlefield 4, honestly, I would pick it up. It's the best £45 I've spent in a while. It's grabbed me. I mean, I've been playing it solidly out for about 2 weeks when I've got free time. I've got back into the old habit of trying to get 500 kills with each weapon before moving on to the next one. And it felt like riding a bike, if that makes sense. I just came back to the game, and within the first match or so, I knew what I was supposed to do. I knew how to flank. I knew how to call in support, mark targets, that kind of thing. It just felt like coming home, if that makes sense. And I've really enjoyed it. So, thanks a lot, Phil, for pointing out the fact that this game is now playable. I really honestly do wish we could just turn back time and, release it how it is now, but when it first released, because, this game could have possibly killed COD at the time, but in its current state, it was rubbish. It really was the worst game you could ever play. Now it feels good, it plays good, and honestly, if you haven't already got it, or if you've got it gathering dust, maybe dig out a copy and put it in your console, because for me personally, it's been a blast, and it's been keeping me from doing other things, I guess. So yeah, that was it. I just wanted to bring this video to you if you're still on the fence. Battlefield 4's worth it, I guess. And yeah, as always, guys, I've been Gumchimp, you've been brilliant, and thanks for watching.